A lot of people drink because they have stress. And okay, that you can drink because you have stress, but what I've seen in my life is that most people get stress from the drinking. If I think about myself, sometimes I went to a party and I had to be there at 10 o'clock, but I had another party at 8 o'clock in the evening, so I had to think, okay, how can I go from the one party to the other one without my car? And if I go with my car, I have stress because the police can get me, and alcohol gives you stress. A lot of people think it takes away the stress, but it gives you stress. And if we go a little bit deeper, what is stress? Stress is something in your body that is like talking to you. I was talking about the craving. It's also something that talks to you and that we have to listen to it. And stress is the same. We have to listen to our stress. What does it mean? What does it want to say? And we have to handle stress in a different way. If you look at children, if they have stress or something, what do? They yell, they shout, they cry, and they let this energy out. We adults, we don't do it because we have to be strong and brave, but the stress wants to tell us something. It's like the flight or fight reaction when we, a couple of hundreds of thousands years ago, but it wants to tell us something. If we have stress, it's because there is something. Now I try to handle stress in a different way. When I have stress, I feel it, I try to meditate a little bit, I try to do some yoga, I go for a run. And you see, it's like we are telling a lot the same, and I do it on purpose because repetition is the mother of all skills. And it's important for you to get in this action. What can you do? What can you do to handle stress in a good way? If alcohol wouldn't exist, what would you do to handle stress? A lot of people don't have an answer. That's why they grab to the alcohol, because it's the only thing they know. But what can you do to handle the stress? So what I do if I have stress sometimes, like there's something happening or I will be late, I try to handle it. If I will be late, I just take my phone and I say it, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to be 15 minutes later. Okay, it's no problem. And I try to handle it in the best way as possible. But know it, like the stress, our emotions, our energy in motion, emotion wants to tell us something. And it's so important that we listen to it. I already said it a couple of times, but it's so important to, our emotions are a guide in life. And what do? We have emotions, we drink, we numb them. Oh, we don't feel emotions. But that's not the way it works. Emotions, they are always coming back because they want to tell you something. If you have pain somewhere in your thoughts, in your head, I don't know, it's because pain wants to tell you something. And we always like want to get rid of it. Oh, no, go away, go away. But we have to listen to it. And if we listen to it, we will learn a lot about it. But we have to be open to listen for it. We have to be open to receive the information. Our emotions are a guide in life. It is where you have to go. Today you can be happy as you are, but it's not like what makes you happy today is not like the same what will make you happy maybe in a couple of weeks or months. If I look at my life, when I stopped drinking, for me the most important was being sober. And what made me happy is read a lot about alcohol, about the Buddhism, and going to lectures about Buddhism, and that was really making me happy. The second year of being sober was like, yeah, I want to do something with all this knowledge, so I quit my job. I did another job as a coach, and that was really making me happy. Then the second year I worked with the coach, but after a while I felt I have to do something with the alcohol. In Belgium I do so much things in Belgium I do so many things with the alcohol, but I felt I have to do something with it. So I started as an alcohol coach 1 January 2013. So I felt I had to do something with it. And what made me happy, I was giving lectures, I was doing the individual coachings. But then a couple of months ago I was like, okay, well, is it still fulfilling me? And I felt for the first time after 3 years it was different. The energy was different. I had so many lectures and it was sometimes a little bit too much, so I had to think, how can I do it differently? So being happy, it's like a wave. It's like always something else. And we always have to question ourselves, is it making us happy today? If it is, you can do it. If it's not making you happy, okay, maybe do something else. What can make you happy then? The second year of my soberness, I traveled a lot. I was like going through Europe, and I really loved it. Like I was going hitchhiking, and I was going on adventure. I went a lot to like seminars, and I really loved it. Now a seminar, it's like, I did so many seminars, it's not making me happy. Happiness is very changeable, and how you can get along on the waves of being happy, getting along, following the waves, the flow is what's gonna make you happy. And it's now the first time I do the videos in English, and there are already people telling me for 2 years, why don't you do it in English? Why don't you do it in English? But I didn't felt it on that moment. It didn't feel right for me. Now it feels right because I feel good. I know I have so much knowledge about alcohol. I helped so many people with it, so I know the system about what I'm telling, about the belief system is working. So I felt ready, and it makes me happy to make these videos. Really, I enjoy it to share my knowledge with you, because I know it will help people. And even if I only help one person with this video program, my life is brilliant. I wrote a book, and my first book was called One Too Many in Belgium, the Druppel. And I put in in the first sentence, if I can help one guy with my book, my mission is fulfilled. And I helped already now hundreds, thousands of people, and it gives me a great feeling. And it's not for that feeling that I make my books. No, it's like I know things, how you can stop, and I want to share it with the world. That is my passion. If you look at your passion, what is a passion? It's something where you can talk about it for hours. It's the love you get, the love you feel if you talk about it. For me, like with the alcohol, for me it's like my passion. I love to talk about it, but I also love to talk about life, about the emotions, the feeling, about stress. And it's so important to listen to your stress. It's so important to listen to your emotion, and yeah, do it. What are emotions? I'm going to tell a little bit further about. For me, emotions, we have emotions. We are not emotions. That's also very interesting, because sometimes you get like an emotion, like you are sad, or you are like mad. And what do we say? I am mad. I am mad. But no, it's not true. There is madness in you, and it is there in you, but we identify. I talked also like with the cravings, we identify with the craving. It's like, oh, I want to drink, but it's just something that is there, and we don't have to identify with it. It's very important. Also with the emotion, there is sadness. You can have it, and you can let it be, and you can feel it, but you are not sad, you are not mad. It's just something that is there. And like being aware of that helped me so much in my life. It's like knowing that we have these emotions, and like the waves that I said about like going with the flow in your life, it's like the emotions are also waves. Sometimes they feel, but they go away and they come back, and it's okay. And you don't have to feel every wave, or else you become mad. Just know that they are there, and yeah, it's very interesting to know that the emotions we have is our guide in life.